I initially came to Ohio State as a Korean major, actually, and it was through my sociological social psychology course with Kim Lopez. That class in particular got me really thinking about how the world works around me, which really started snowballing, where I ended up taking a ton of courses with her originally, and then just saying, at that point, I'm already halfway here. I might as well just make it my, major now. I plan to continue kind of researching specifically East Asian diaspora, as well as immigrant family dynamics and mental health. For my internship, I worked with a company remotely located in Seoul, South Korea. What they do is they primarily work with North Korean refugees very closely to teach them English initially, and then as they rebranded further to Freedom Speakers International, now they focus a lot more on the public speaking. So things like book deals, getting their stories out there, public speaking, book deals, blog posts, I believe some run now, as well as YouTube channels. So giving them a voice, the North Korean refugee population, and then helping them integrate back into South Korean society now, so that way they can continue to thrive and share their story. The experience really solidified that is something I'm willing to take on, because I do care about it enough to do so. The Career Accelerator Fund, I think the biggest thing it did for me was allow me to not have to worry about outside jobs at the time. So instead of stressing about my finances and having to work, say, 20 to 30 hours a week like I did before, I was able to fully focus on the things that will matter to me, not only now, but especially in my future development. After I finished my official internship, they had asked me if I wanted to be one of the 5 collegiate freelance speakers that they have for student leaders around the nation. And I got to speak at their International Freedom Summit. And it was an amazing experience. I got to work really closely with North Korean refugees that were also speaking there at this digital summit. Learn a lot about the behind the scenes work of how these things work, especially in a COVID world where we're all, constantly evolving and trying to see how we can turn telecommunications into the kind of the new going forward way of just hosting events. And it was an amazing experience where I got to be a freelance speaker, write my own speech, and kind of talk about why that issue is important to me and share that passion with others. I think the biggest thing I would tell people in general is just to go for it in terms of applying. My biggest thing is I didn't know if I'd be eligible because I was doing kind of 2 separate things, and how that worked and how that would affect my work schedule. It was a very peculiar situation, but the staff over at the Career Center and everything was absolutely amazing. Barbara in particular helped me through every step of the way, from that first Zoom meeting we had where she was like, yeah, you should go for it, and just start somewhere, reach out to someone, whether it's an advisor or someone at the Career Center, and see what your options are, and just look into things, open those doors.